part 3 of the Quadra 700 series, and I got updates. Everything that I've tried to do suggests that the old hard drive here just gave up the ghost. It spins, but that's all it does. I don't hear it trying to click or tap or knock around or anything, just spin loudly. But everything else seems to be working. So rather than getting a hard drive, that's probably going to do the same thing shortly after I buy it on eBay for $1 million, I decided to look into what kind of modern replacements are available. And since I got the BlueSCSI, whatever you want to call it, interface here, I looked into the different options and found one that I thought was very interesting, and just got this in the mail from a Mr. Eric Hedgeson. Hope I'm saying your name right. But this seems to be a pretty new product that I just found interesting, and I like the fact that it's a small community, it's a brand new product, it's a guy just trying to put these out for people like me and cheap. So we're gonna look at this. I'll take it out of here and see what we get, and we're gonna try to make it work in this Quadra 700 in place of this old hard drive. So let's see if we can do that. Admittedly, this is alien territory for me. I'm a PC guy, and never owned a Mac when I was young. Had a couple of friends that had one. I thought they were kind of neat, but I never got to spend much time with them. Outside of elementary school, I guess we had a couple of Apple IIe's, and I remember playing Oregon Trail. They had the big old clunky, loud floppy drives and the green screen monitors, and that was pretty cool. But that's like pretty much my extent of experience with old Mac. I do have an iPhone and an iWatch, but that's only recently. I know nothing about any of this. So I started to look at what kind of options are available for an SCSI replacement on an old Mac, and I looked into resurrect, RASCSI. I don't know how to pronounce it. Look, resurrect. We'll go with that. I'm just gonna call everything SCSI because SCSI just kind of sounds dirty, and I don't, never really liked saying it that way. But you do you. I'm gonna call it SCSI. So RASCSI, did look into that, and that's interesting, but you have to have a Raspberry Pi, and I gave that away to my brother-in-law for like a little emulation game console thing. And now I guess the little $30 computers are over $100, and I'm not gonna do that. Second thing I looked into, I think it was SCSI to SD. I guess that's been around for a little bit longer. That seems like a pretty promising product, but it's more expensive, and this sort of piqued my interest because a guy named Eric Hedgeson, hope I'm saying that right, sells these on BlueSCSI. I guess it's sort of a newer product, and there's a cool community around it, and this was $50. It ticked all the right boxes. I don't want to spend a whole lot on this, and I just want to have some fun, try to play around, see what I can get working. And I like trying new, small batch, interesting things. So for $50, shipped to my door, I think I paid $5 for shipping or whatever. This is what came. Oh, and I bought the little power cable just in case I needed it. I think it was only a few bucks. I was like, yeah, I might as well. Don't know if I'm going to need that, but here it is. Nice anti-static bag. Now you can get a kit where you solder all this together, and that's $25. And I don't understand how that's even worth it somehow, but it is, and that's what they're selling them for. if you feel like soldering all of these components, I guess including the little chips and everything, I mean, you know, I like soldering, but I don't like soldering little stuff. Surface mount chips, things with leads that small. I just, I'd rather pay the $25 more and have it already done. And for that, you get the little blue pill board. I guess it's like Arduino based, not quite an Arduino, but similar in some ways is what I've come to understand. You get the SCSI connector there, and then you get a little micro SD slot, and apparently he even 3D prints these little screw in, drop in frames. So that's cool. Didn't even have to fire up my printer. I mean, it's just ready to go. 50 bucks, right? I put a screw here and a screw here. That didn't come here. It sort of just came all as separate boards, but that's cool. Anyway, I think the neatest thing here is the little personalized, you get a little sticker, but this paper right here, and you've probably seen this on another video, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but it tells you what to do, and what I like about it is this was composed on a G3, can't read what that is, I'm not a Mac guy, I don't recognize that, and printed on an image writer too, and I do remember that was an old dot matrix printer that we had in elementary school back when I was like 5-6 years old. I remember it took forever to print a paper. Look, he's going through the trouble of making it that cool and that authentic. I appreciate the little details, stuff like that, so I thought that was awesome. So that's the lot. And right now I'm sort of researching like what I'm gonna do here, because from what I understand, you can't just put this in and then throw in a System 7 disk and try to install it like it was a normal hard drive. You actually have to build an image or get an image or something, and then put that image into a .hda file, and then put that HDA file onto a micro SD card, stick it in here, and then it boots. It would be nice if this just acted like a normal hard drive and I could install from, old discs that I have, because I actually do have a CD-ROM for System 7. But it is what it is, and if this works, maybe it's probably better in the long run, because then I can take the card out and then add stuff to it. I can put games and whatever else on it with my modern Windows PC. I don't have any other Mac computers, so hoping I can get all this done with a PC. Yeah, we're gonna find out. So first step, take out the old hard drive, put this in. Second step, found a couple of pre-made HDA files. I'm just gonna try to throw them on the card and see what happens. That might or might not work. I don't know if there are specifics for different models of Macs, and maybe some work with some models, or maybe they work with all models. I'm not sure, but I did get several different images. I'm just going to throw them on the card, see if anything boots, see if I get any errors. I don't know if Macs are picky about drivers like Windows PCs are, especially the old ones, where little hardware differences mean a different driver, and that's going to give you problems. Not sure, but I'm going to try. Alright, so step one, we got to get this old hard drive out of here, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this clips in. Yeah, that feels pretty loose. Does it just pull straight up? It does. Alright, so that's easy. One thing I like about these old Macs is just how they're built. It's meant to come apart. It's funny how nowadays you can't even replace the battery on your iPhone. It's glued into place and locked out, and you gotta send it off. But back then, their philosophy was, you can work on this. We'll make it easy. So we got a little cable here for the hard drive LED. I'll just pull that out. I think we do have some pins on the BlueSCSI we can plug that into. So we got power, Molex connector. We just got the old school flat ribbon SCSI cable. All right, our hard drive is out. Kind of a shame that this doesn't work. I mean, it's in such physically good condition, but I mean, that's the nature of these things. They just don't last over time, you know, 30 something years. And all right, so blank bay. Now, how does this mount in here somehow? Don't really see any screw holes. There's a couple of holes here. I got a screw hole here and a screw hole here, but I don't see anywhere that I can screw this down in the factory tray. So I might have to do some double-sided tape there or something. Let me stop and think about that for a second. Okay, I'm an idiot. Actually, why would there be holes here if the original drive just clips in? So looking at the drive, looks like screw there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here, and this drive should come out, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. And then I should be able to lay the BlueSCSI down into this tray, screw it down, and then clip it in. Yep, that was it. So those 2 screws, these 4 screws, now drive pops right out. All right, cool. Hopefully the screws I took out will just like fit into this 3D printed part. Might have to get them started. Yeah, that feels like it fits. It's tight, but it's 3D printed. That's to be expected. That one started. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the other one. Yeah, there you go. A little loose. Grab the bigger driver and crank on it a little bit. That feels pretty snug. Hey, look at that. That actually mounts very nicely. So now that we can put this back in, let's make sure it clips in, no problems. Plug it in and go from there. All right, so it's kind of hard to see, but these 2 headers here, one of them's for power, one of them is activity. So you can't see it, I don't think. Maybe you can. But that top pin on this inner connector says activity plus. So here's my LED. I'm going to assume the red is positive, right? And I'm just going to plug that guy in here. And then this should drop into place. Yes. Except that's backwards. So pull that back out. Can I spin this? and just drop it down. Yes, yes I can. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I always do everything backwards. I don't know why. But as long as you learn from your dumbassery, then no harm, no foul, right? So, all right, we have a power and we have data, right? So I think what I'm gonna do is just plug this in here because that should be a direct fit. And from what I have read, the SCSI bus should be able to power this on its own. Should. But since we have the power connector here, and I have a power connector here, well, why don't I just use the adapter that I bought for a couple of bucks and plug that in just to make sure that everything is good. Yep, sound like a good idea to you? Yeah, me too. So I'm gonna do that. And the male and female ends here, line them up. That's a good tight connection there. I'll just kind of stuff him down and line this up. Boom. And that just kind of makes me feel a little better that even if we could get power over this data cable, we have power here, and that's how the original hard drive was ran, so it just kind of made sense to me to do that. Hopefully that's not famous last words and I just fried the thing, but you know, we'll find out. Again, 50 bucks for this thing. I mean, I can't believe that. That's awesome. So that's installed. Next step, we gotta get some kind of image on an SD card, pop it in and see what happens. I'm gonna start with a pre-made image. And if you go to BlueSCSI, their website, blue.scsi, it looks like they have a link for some pre-made images and things like that. I think I'm just going to try that first. And I don't know if that works or if it doesn't work or whatever. If I get more interested in this, I'll probably just try to make my own image and go from there, because it'd be nice to install some games, install a bunch of stuff. I'd like to see the first Photoshop, you know, because the guy I got this computer from, he's a graphics design guy that I work with at a t-shirt shop, and he got this in 1991, something like that, with one of the first Photoshops, if not version 1.0. That's what I'm interested in. I want to see Photoshop 1.0, maybe some Illustrator first edition, because I use that a lot for work, and it'd be interesting to see just what it was like. What's the first version of something I use every day like? Do have the old Wacom tablet over there, you know? Be neat to play with that. Alright, so that's the plan. Let's go. By the way, I did take this whole tray out and look and make sure the battery was not leaking and destroyed the board, and actually I got really lucky, it was not. So I pulled that thing out. I actually popped a brand new one in. Forget where I got that from, but brand new lithium battery, no leaks, no bad traces. So we're gonna send it. All right, so forgive my caveman camera work here with my low light room, and hey, whatever, it is what it is. You're here for this journey and you've watched this far. Thank you. So step one, you got to get a micro SD card, and they say on the site there that you should get a name brand card, something reputable, not like a Chinese knockoff of some kind or whatever. So I picked up this one. It's a 16 gigabyte verbatim Made in Taiwan, I believe. Yeah, it's made in Taiwan. Man, I don't think that's a knockoff, but it was also the cheapest one on Amazon, so yeah, we'll see. But we're gonna go with this. It was $4.99, free shipping. Yep. Got the old Anchor SD card reader, and basically goal now is to put this in here, put this in there, and then format exFAT file system. And then they said they've got pre-made images here, so I'm gonna try that and see what happens. If that doesn't do anything, then I'll have to dive deeper, try to figure out how to make my own image, which they do provide a little bit of help here on the site. But yeah, hopefully we get some kind of result with a pre-made image. All right, so we got our card reader, throw it in the USB. Yeah. Get in there. There you go. You're recognized. Now, we'll go ahead and format this as exFAT. Volume label, we'll just say Mac O. What does Mac do? I guess it's all one word, right? Mac OS. Or back then, I guess it was Mac System 7. We'll just do Mac OS 7. All right. Format. Yep. Done. All right, so poking around on BlueSCSI's website, I found this image in the correct format, HDA. I think you can do image files like .img, but you have to rename them. They do say that RASCSI files do work with BlueSCSI, so well, we're gonna try it. I think 7.5.3, that's about what this computer came with. I think it came with 7.0.1, but my buddy that used it said he actually updated to 7.5 point something. So here we go. We'll see if that works. We'll drop this onto the SD card, and then we have to name it very specifically, because BlueSCSI says that you have to name it in a way that the drive understands where it is in the SCSI chain. And yeah, once we do that, maybe this will be recognized, and I guess the next update will be if that works or not. Wish me luck. Okay, to elaborate on that a little bit, that's sort of what we're going for, is that format, the HD whatever, and however many bits. So from what I understand, what this says right here is that we need to probably just name it that. That's what I'm going to try. So like HD, 1 being the first drive device, I guess. Like, I guess maybe would 0 be the first drive? But I'm just going to try what they did here, HD 10, because it says 0 through 7. I know I have a CD-ROM drive. Don't know what that's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be like the first one. But if it is, if I leave 0 open, then it'll be the first drive, and it shouldn't interfere if I call this one 1. And then it says 7 on a Macintosh is the system. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe I need to, if this doesn't work, maybe I need to try to name it as 7. But I think that might be like the controller. I don't know. This is all fucking alien, man. But that's cool. I think what I'm going to do is just name it HD 10512 HDA. Because it says the LUNID is always 0. And from what I've seen, everything is always 0 there. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. So there's my file on my SD card, and I'm gonna try booting. Click. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, place your bets, make sure your tray table is in the upright and locked position. We are entering uncharted territory. What do you think's gonna happen? Here we go. First try. Reach around and grab this weird power button. You know, sorry, I gotta stop for a second. When did we start putting power buttons on the front of things where it's convenient? Because the monitor, nothing up here. You gotta reach around back here and turn that thing on and off. Power button on here, same thing. Reach back way back here. There's the power button. Why did they do that? And why is it all of a sudden now all computers have it on the front? It's like, oh yeah, that's just, you know, makes too much sense, I guess. Anyway, here we go. See what it does. Come on, baby. Let's go. Uh-oh. Don't think I've seen that since I tried the system installation disk. Rebuilding the desktop file. I wonder what that means. I wish I knew about these old Macs. I wish I knew more about this. It's just so alien. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's like configuring it to this machine. Sort of like if you had a Windows installation and you swapped your motherboard or something like that, maybe? Yeah. There's the hard drive, right? Guys, I think we're there. Well. Mouse works. Sorry I don't have a better setup right now than this little TV dinner tray. Guess I need to put this out on the kitchen table and really play with it. What do we got? I'm guessing there's not a whole lot of stuff installed here. Well, they had video player back in 1991 or 3 or something like that. Well, at least we have a calculator and a chooser. Graphing calculator. Well, we got one game, jigsaw puzzle. Yeah. Scrapbook. Well, that is awesome. For as little effort as I have put into this, I'm happy. I'm gonna have to play around with this and really just explore and try to learn a lot more, do a lot more homework, but that was painless, guys. For $50 and an SD card. There you go. Well, I guess that's it for this update then. Might do a part 4 once I learn a little bit more about the old Mac ecosystem, and maybe we'll try some games and things like that, but I'd call that a resurrection. She's working. Like to see some Photoshop 1.0 and things like that. Maybe we'll try that old first generation Wacom tablet and the CD-ROM drive and all that, but that is awesome. Satisfying. She's working. Well, that's it for this one. If you made it this far, thanks for watching.